Survivors of the Y2K bug might remember a time where games couldn't really portray things in crazy set-piece explosions, where they had to rely on two very interesting things. Indeed, these were the times of yore, the grand eras of gaming, where many genres' seeds was sown within the dirt of the PC game. That's right, I'm talking about the 90s. Back when video gaming was still kind of coming out of its crazy crash infancy, and PC gaming was starting to really catch on. That's when games came out that had to rely more on story and gameplay than on crazy set-piece explosions. Not that there weren't crazy set-piece explosions, they were just rendered in 16 colors. This ancient era gave rise to the point-and-click adventure genre. Or, not necessarily its rise, but definitely its escalation in popularity. This was the time of Monkey Island. This was the time of Myst. These were the times when point-and-click was really defined, and games about story were really in the forefront. And now here in the future year of 2015, there are still point-and-click adventure games coming out all the time, but few of them harken so accurately to those ancient predecessors, those grand cornerstones of a genre like Deponia. And Deponia, or I should say the Deponia series, is very true to those old roots. It is the quintessential point-and-click adventure games, taking ideas from games like Grim Fandango and Monkey Island, and distilling them in a modern vase.
Next time, I'll toss him overboard.
To break it down to brass tacks, Deponia is a quintessential point-and-click adventure game. You walk around, explore areas, pick up items, combine those items with everything else in your inventory, and then use those items to either solve puzzles or complete minigames to progress the story along its path. One of the things that I really like about Deponia, in contrast to some other point-and-click adventure games out there, is that the puzzles do follow a pretty sound line of logic. You can logically assume something and it'll generally work. There are very few puzzles that really caught me completely off guard with their solutions, and I never really had to look up a walkthrough to get through them, which was good. This is a good thing in a lot of point-and-click adventure games, because there are some where the ideas are just completely removed from what you would expect. So having that solid line of logic, as well as having the game occasionally prompt you with hints through dialogue or item descriptions, really works in the game's favor and makes the point-and-click adventure actually fun. You get a lot of those really awesome eureka or aha moments where you got the puzzle, you solved it, and you feel really good about yourself. In addition to this, the great screens, interesting NPCs, and very beautiful, vivid, surprisingly deep world make exploring in Deponia actually fun to do. Moving from screen to screen is nice. There's a lot of animations and a lot of really interesting details worked into the world. As well, the NPCs often have amusing things to say, which range from very basic conversation all the way up to puzzle hints or solutions. So it makes the game fun to walk around and explore in. And what would a point-and-click adventure game be without minigames? There's a rumor going around that the game's director really loves minigames.
I really dig minigames. I mentioned it, but I like minigames. In the beginning, you probably know of my passion for minigames.
So maybe that might be why they are of such good quality. I never really encountered any minigame in the game that I found tedious. From the bombing minigames at the beginning to 8-bit weird dolphins, the game has a solid set of things, and they all feel different and unique and interesting. There's no repetition here. It's all something else, and they're all something new and fun and interesting to do. The minigames are solid, rounding out the gameplay to make a very unique and engaging experience overall. But above all of the gameplay mechanics on Deponia, its storytelling truly takes the top spot in this game. The storytelling is immaculate, fantastically done, and weaves an incredibly powerful narrative that feels extremely lighthearted while still maintaining a lot of emotional depth. Through all three Deponia games, you play as Rufus, an egomaniacal, somewhat insane tinkerer with an unquenchable need to travel to the great floating city of Elysium, which stands in contrast to his home, a planet-sized garbage dump called Deponia, where he's trying desperately to escape. During one of his ill-thought-out and slapstick-tacular escape attempts, Rufus encounters Goal, an Elysian woman who he almost immediately murders, then vows to save, win the heart of, and then have her help him ascend to his true destiny on Elysium. And it's from here we meet a lot of interesting characters. There's people like Tony, his ex-girlfriend, and his good friends Bozo and Doc, to Goal, who is the female protagonist of the game, and Cletus, his main rival. All of them are fleshed out interesting, have their own arcs, and are just really nice to know about, really cool to learn about. And hopefully along the way, help Rufus learn to not be such a self-entitled dick. And the self-entitled, ridiculous nature of Rufus does put you into some interesting situations as a player, because this isn't Mass Effect. You don't get to choose the narrative. It's not branching, it's all one story. Therefore, there are some things that happen in the game that you might not want to complete. But this is used as a powerful narrative device to really draw out Rufus's character and show you exactly what he's made of. And this is incredibly well done.
Oh, Goal. I'm sorry.
The story is a beautifully light-hearted comedy of errors. As Rufus moves forward with his plans, encounters new snags, completely screws himself over, and so on and so forth. Nowhere is this better illustrated than in your objective screen, as Rufus slowly crosses out and writes in new ideas as he reaches new terrible conclusions, or completely messes everything up. This fantastic writing even extends to the developer commentaries, which ranges from interesting anecdotes about development of the game, to the game's director Pookie literally interviewing the characters, to him occasionally breaking out into song.
Nothing here to see. I bet you didn't see that coming.
From the gameplay to the story writing, Deponia is a grade A, top shelf point-and-click adventure game. And I would say one of the better narrative games to come out in recent memory. It's fun, it's interesting, it's lighthearted, but it still pounds you in the chest when you need to feel the feels. But in the end, Deponia is a great experience. There are 3 Deponia games, but you can pick them up as a single package. If you're a big fan of point-and-clicks, don't give this one up. It's a fantastic experience, one that I recommend every fan of the genre takes in. Because in the end, Deponia is a great story about being crazy, trying your best, and eventually about letting go. Hey there, thank you very much for watching this video on Deponia. Really fun game. I really enjoyed doing this video, despite the fact that I wound up sinking like 30-some hours into this game. As usual, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. It's, you know, the usual YouTube stuff. And if you want anything to say about this video, or about me, or just if you wanted to ask a random question, or post a picture of a giraffe, do that down in the comments. I love to read your comments. I try to respond to as many as I can. Thanks again for watching, though, and I hope you've enjoyed this. You have a great one.
On the other hand,